This is Crenshaw again. I want to do part two of what I call the Joe Osteen Smiley Face Killer video, part one, which is part two. This is a map of the location that the bodies were found across the United States, victims of the Smiley Face Killer. It was said this formed a smiley face, but I guess people were assuming that this motion right here is a smiley face, but what I see is something different. What I'm going to do is down here, I'm just going to take my pen and darken that in for you. And up here, I'm just going to take the pen and darken that in for you so that you can see the picture a lot more clearly. Look at the red part going down in here. All I did is I just followed the path of this route here, this road or route or whatever it is, and this forms a head. All I did is I just followed the path of the route down here, and what you clearly see is you see a head here. You see it's like a V-neck. You see a back. You see the front part of the chest. You see the bottom part, and you clearly see a man. This right here depicts a mighty hand. If I just follow the route right there also, you'll see that it shows this is a mighty hand. And what this represents is a man stretching out his mighty hand, and extending from his mighty hand you see a crooked line. This represents a staff. It represents the staff of Moses. When Moses threw his staff on the ground, it turned into a snake. So that's what this represents. This represents the man, Moses, who extended his mighty hand, which contained the staff. And then this line going in both directions across the state of Minnesota represents the parting of the Red Sea by the staff. So once again, look clearly here. You'll see a man, whom is Moses, extending his mighty hand, which has a staff in it, and it is parting the Red Sea. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the word Minnesota, because Minnesota is the state that this line, Minnesota, right there, it is the state that this line is parting. What we're going to do with the word Minnesota is I'm going to keep the S, the E, and the A, and that spells C. The letters T, O, N, I'm going to keep. I'm going to take the letter I, which the Roman numeral I means 1. The first letter of the alphabet is A, so that letter I turns into the letter A, so now I have T-O-M-A. The leftover letters that I now have is N and N. I'm going to take the N, one N is the 14th letter of the alphabet, the other N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. I'm going to combine the two, gives me the number 28. I break that down to 2 plus 8. 2 plus 8 equals 10. So what I do is I take the word 10 and I add it to my letters T-O-M-A. So I get T-O-M-A-T-E-N. What I do is I keep the T-O-M-A-T. I take the E and the N. E is the 5th letter of the alphabet. N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. I add the two together, gives me the number 19. I break that down to 1 plus 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. I take the 1 from 10. I take the 0 from 10. I put it on top. It gives me the letter I. The letter I takes me to the word I. The word I takes me to the symbol for I, which is the letter O. I then go and I add the letter O to the T-O-M-A-T-O. That gives me tomato. I add tomato to the word C that I had kept. That gives me tomato C. Tomato is red, so that is Red Sea. So Minnesota represents the Red Sea, and this represents the parting of the Red Sea. And with going in both directions here. So what you have here, people, from the locations of the victims of the Smiley Face Killer, what the Smiley Face Killer is saying is he is saying Moses, clearly the man, outstretching his mighty hand, very mighty. See how big and how large that hand is, a mighty hand that had a staff, as you can see, and the staff is represented right here, but he's letting you know that when Moses threw his staff on the ground, it turned into a snake, so that is why it is shaped like that. And then the line here through the state of Minnesota represents the parting of, and then Minnesota represents the Red Sea. So what the Smiley Face Killer has done here with the placement of the victims in this map is he has given you the picture of Moses extending his mighty hand with the staff and parting the Red Sea. So everything that the Smiley Face Killer has done has been biblical. In the first video I showed you how it is the walking on water, turning water to wine, and the bread and the fish that Jesus fed the multitudes with. Those were his 3 miracles. I showed you the word Lord, and then I was able to take the word Smiley Face Pastor, which Joel Osteen is referred to as the Smiley Face Pastor. He refers to himself as the Smiley Face Pastor. I was able to take the word pastor and translate that and show you how it becomes the word killer. So it is the Smiley Face Killer. So I've given you Moses stretching his mighty hand with the staff parting the Red Sea. I've given you the 3 miracles. I've given you the word Lord referring to Jesus. And I've taken the Smiley Face Pastor, who is Joel Osteen, and I've given you the Smiley Face Killer. So I have, me, Lisa Marie Crenshaw, from Lockport, New York, have solved the case of the Smiley Face Killer with the evidence that you have given me, with the things you have given me, the maps, the words, of the bodies, the victims, everything. I've solved this case, and if I'm wrong, then prove me wrong. But I have solved the case of the Smiley. I have solved the case of the Smiley case, the Smiley Face. I'm sorry, the Smiley Face Killer, and I've showed you how everything he has done is biblical. And I have shown you that the Smiley Face Killer is none other than the Smiley Face Pastor, Mr. Joel Osteen himself. Thank you.